Ago in our women's Bible study, we were digging into the perspective of Mary Magdalene, and this woman is pretty amazing. In Luke chapter 8, in the first 3 verses, and you might even have skirted over these verses a little bit, but we see where Jesus delivers her from 7 demons, along with other women that he delivers from evil spirits and diseases. And these women come together and they begin to be a group of some of the first dedicated followers of Jesus, female dedicated followers of Jesus. And it even goes on in verse 3 to say how they supported him financially by their own means. But now we're going to jump ahead into John chapter 19, because that foundational work is important to the point that I want to share with you today. Mary Magdalene experienced Jesus. She experienced the healing power of Jesus, the faithfulness of Jesus, and then watched him love on countless other people over the next few years of his life. Then you come to John chapter 19, where you see Jesus, he goes through his trial and the suffering, the crucifixion, just before the resurrection. And Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Mary Magdalene stand steadfast and firm as they watch their Lord and Savior go through these trials. They don't waver, they don't fall, they stand firm. They know that Jesus is the King of Kings. They know that he is who he says he is. They know that he is the Prince of Peace. Mary remembers everything that Gabriel spoke to her. Keep in mind, Mary, the mother of Jesus, Gabriel told her exactly who he was going to be. She's the one that instigates the very first miracle at Cana. And then you have Mary Magdalene, who not only experienced the healing of Jesus firsthand, but watched him continue to love on people, continue to heal people, continue to cast out demons, continue to call people out of sin and walk forward. Their steadfast faith was on who Jesus said he was and who he was in their lives. And they weren't wavering from that. But then this happens. Jump over to John chapter 20, and in the very first verse, it says that Mary Magdalene, on the beginning of the week, was headed towards the tomb, and it was still dark that day. Now, things had already been taken care of. Joseph of Arimathea had already taken the body of Jesus, and he and Nicodemus had already covered it with myrrh and spices, wrapped it in strips of cloth, and laid it in a tomb that no one else had ever been laid in before. Mary was just going to the tomb. At that point in life, other than Lazarus, when death happened, death was death. It's final. So the moment where everything had come to a close, and hindsight being 2020, that we know what the resurrection looked like, they didn't know what that was going to look like yet. She could have run to a cave because it felt safer. She could have run out of the city to get away from the conversations, the jeers, the Romans who thought they won, whatever the case was. But instead, she went to the very tomb of the healer she's always known. My question for you today is, when things are falling apart, when things are coming to a close, when you feel like it's final, it's over, it's finished, do you run to the cave or do you run to the healer? Because when we stand firm on who we know Jesus is, and we remind ourselves daily of what he's done for us, we run to the healer, the tomb is empty, and we get to experience the healer over and over and over again. Jesus was there. He was alive and resurrected, and she was the first one to see him and see him in all of his glory. Her faith walked her towards the healer and towards the tomb instead of away. I challenge you today, remember what Jesus has done for you, what he's called you out of, who he's purposed you to be, and the love that he has for you. The sin that you've left behind and what you walk towards is towards the healer, who's not in the grave, but in all of his glory, to continue to heal you, lead you, and guide you.